Hi, I'm Nicolette Lambert with Birth Multiverse, and this is our lecture on diapering. Now, I know this can get into kind of a heated topic, so this is a judgment-free zone. I'm going to just list out, we're going to talk about just some of the different options and some of the pros and cons, because each diapering option has pros and cons. You can't, there's no way to make everybody happy all the time with diapering, but each option does have its benefits, and you may even use a couple of different diapering options over your baby's babyhood until they're potty trained. But let's just start kind of talking about diapering. And again, judgment-free zone. Everybody has a choice. Is there one right way to diaper your baby? Well, there are more options than ever before. And once upon a time, all you had was cloth. We have a lot of different options now, and sorting through those different options can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. But to get started, just here's a brief list of some pros and cons. We have disposables. So the pros for disposables are they're cheap in the short term. They're familiar. Probably know lots of people who've used disposables. You may have changed disposables yourself. There's no extra laundry. They're easy and fast to buy because they're pretty much sold everywhere. You can even go to a gas station and pick up some diapers. The cons are that they do require a lot of resources to manufacture, and they do take up a lot of landfill space. And disposable diaper manufacture also releases solvents, dioxins, and heavy metal waste into the water, soil, and air. It does create extra garbage that you'll have to dig out, and it can be costly in the long term. Now, cloth requires fewer resources to manufacture. It takes up less landfill space. It can be very cost effective in the long term, especially as you're reusing diapers. There's dozens of options for pretty much everybody. It's very, very customizable at this point. It means there's less garbage. Many types of cloth diaper covers are very easy to use. You can DIY it if you are handy with sewing, or you can support small businesses by buying from work-at-home moms. Cloth can be recycled to make diapers and covers, especially with upcycled wool covers. And it can be saved for future babies or be resold when the baby grows out of them. I heard one mom joke that if you resell your cloth diapers, they hold their value better than a car. But the cons are that it does require more laundry, more water use. There are some more upfront costs because you have to buy everything up front. And the options can be overwhelming with all of that. Customizability comes, how do I choose? And there can be a learning curve to using certain types of cloth diapers, especially if you didn't grow up, seeing cloth diapers used. Now we have biodegradable diapers, and these are probably one of the more recent developments. They're kind of trying to bridge the gap between disposables and cloth. So the pros for biodegradable diapers are that when it's a compostable diaper, it can be disposed of without using any landfill space. They're easy to use, kind of a lot like a disposable. There's no extra laundry, and many leading brands don't use bleach, so they release fewer toxins into the environment. The cons are that they still require a lot of resources to manufacture. And if they're thrown out, biodegradable diapers take up a lot of landfill space. They also do create extra garbage, and if you do throw them out, and they are the costliest of all the diapering options. Let's talk about biodegradability for a minute, because that's kind of a big battleground. One thing to understand when you're trying to make a decision, especially if you're concerned about the environmental friendliness of your diapering options, is that trash does not biodegrade in landfills, even if it's made of biodegradable materials like paper. So the biodegradation process requires exposure to soil and air and water. And in a landfill, trash is simply piled up, and most of it will never have enough exposure to the elements to actually biodegrade. So as the California Integrated Waste Management Board says on its website, a landfill is not a composting facility. Nothing degrades in a landfill. If you're using compostable diapers, though, you can take them to a composting facility, or you can compost them at home in your garden. But throwing any diaper in the garbage will add to the landfill space. Another kind of battleground that's developed lately is cloth's impact. Because cloth lasts through multiple changings and sometimes even multiple babies, I've reused diapers on my babies, they take up less landfill space than any kind of disposable diaper. So cloth diapers and wool covers can be used as rags too when they're worn out from diapering. Another thing you can do with them, when our cotton diapers become threadbare, we'll give them one last wash and then we'll use them for tinder, starting campfires. It is an awesome fire starter. One of the best we've found. So if you like camping, keep that in mind. You can take a look at the handout on diapering to get familiar with some more details on your different diapering options. There'll just be some more details and pictures to help you kind of sort through, especially with cloth. There's more options than ever. So one thing I've been hearing lately is some of accusations that cloth actually makes a bigger impact on the environment than disposables do because of washing. The thing is that even though there's more water required to wash cloth diapers versus just throwing a disposable away, disposables still require a lot more resources to manufacture, and they still take up landfill space. So yes, laundering does make an impact on the environment, but so does manufacturing disposable diapers. Now, another thing to consider is how you want to diaper your newborn. And everybody kind of has different opinions, desires on this. So newborns poop meconium for the first 1 or 2 bowel movements. And some parents like to use newborn disposables for the first year or 2 after the baby is born because that newborn poop is kind of tarry and sticky. It's the first stuff that comes out of your baby after they're born. They haven't had any breast milk when they're in the womb, and so they have a different sort of poop. Meconium is pretty sticky. I'll give you that, but I used cloth from the start with my youngest too. My oldest was in disposables because he was in a NICU, but I personally didn't find a problem with using cloth on my newborns with my second too. Everybody has a different opinion though. You will want to give meconium soiled diapers a really good rinse before you put them in the diaper pail to wash. And another thing you can do is get the flushable liners for those meconium days. The flushable liners they're biodegradable and flushable, and you just put them in the diaper. And then when the poop goes on the liner, you can take the liner and you can just put that in the toilet. And that's another strategy that some people like to use. And then you just flush it. Newborn, that tarry meconium, depending on how well the liner catches it, may or may not be at work as well, but it's definitely an option. I just used straight up cloth and I was okay. So those are a few considerations for diapering, and you'll just want to make the decision that works best for you and your family.